Try this again. It is Marlene of the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, please hit the like, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, all of those things. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your support, as always, as always, as always. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's important when it comes to relationships. In relationships, it's very important for us to, you know our worth, and we're going to be talking about wants versus needs. Wants versus needs, okay? So, what are some of the things when we talk about a relationship? By the way, this is your everybody's idea to choose this topic because we're continuing on from Wednesday when we were talking about what's really important, what's really important to you. And in a relationship, it's very important for us to get the things that we need. And I hope that you're getting the things that you need in a relationship. I hope you're being respected. I hope you're getting that when it comes to a relationship. I hope you're getting all of the things that you need. I hope you're getting all the things that you want, all the things that you honestly need. And let me start off by saying this: want versus needs. When we're talking about this specifically and talking about a romantic relationship, you have to start off a relationship from the very beginning talking about the things that you desire from your romantic relationship. And for one person, it could be that they want this, and for you, it's a need. And it's very much two different things. One person could want to get, maybe $1 million, but for another person, it's a need. Hi, Uncle L. How are you doing? Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. If you could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to put a poll out. Let me put a poll out. This is one thing that I feel is so important when we talk about wants versus needs. I think it's important for us to put this out in the atmosphere. The things that is important to you, are they being satisfied? That's the poll. Please take the poll. I think a lot of people are not mature enough in a relationship to communicate what they want. It takes a mature person, it takes a mature woman or a mature man to be able to stand up and to say that, what you're doing is not what I need. This is specifically what I need. You have to learn how to communicate actually what you want. You have to communicate what you want, what you need. But a want is a different thing. For me, I feel like talking about your wants in a relationship, a want is just something like, you could say, I want somebody who has a lot of money. I want somebody who is this specific age. For me, wants goes into like things that it's like, you would like it. It would be nice if you had those things, but it's not the most important. But for me, what is important is the need, the things that you can't go without. And for me, a need is respect, loyalty, commitment, not cheating on you, honesty. Those are things like having integrity, like you know, knowing that you could trust the person you're in a relationship with. And for me, that is a need. That's not something that I want. And a lot of people do not really identify really that it's a need to have certain things. And that's the reason why people can break up, because they never have the conversations. They're never woman enough or man enough to say, this is what I need. Whereas the other person can think it's what you want. And it's very different. I had to, in a previous relationship, I had to end the relationship is because I was a person that could communicate. And for me, I'm very big on communication in a relationship, romantic specifically, but all relationships at all. Yes, Uncle L, wants aren't necessities. And some people think that, oh, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that. And yeah, well, of course, who wouldn't want like these major things? Like, of course, I want, I would love to have somebody who is had tons of money, or want somebody who is a specific age or has, you know, certain things. All those are, you know, benefits, bonuses. But a bonus doesn't mean it's something that a person has to have. You know, I'm gonna start. I know I may ruffle a few feathers here, but I see a lot of people talking about this list, right, of what they need in a relationship. They have to have this, they have to have that, and I don't know. I feel like you're already sabotaging yourself from being in a good relationship, because there could be a good person out there and they may not meet all of these things because those are wants, they're not needs. You know, I feel like a lot of people are very unbalanced when you talk about wants versus needs. They don't even know what that means. And a lot of people, they talk about they want this and they want that, when actually it's not what they want, it's what they need. So you have to start off a relationship being very specific and saying, I'm not asking for this. This is what I need. It would be a bonus for me. It's like when you meet somebody and like in your mind, you said it would be cool if they could do this. It would be nice if they could do that. Like having those things in a relationship, that would be nice. But I don't feel like a lot of people are unbalanced. And I don't know if it's that some women and men are just immature. I feel that sometimes that's a big factor why people stay single for a long time, or they're in and out of relationships, is because they have their standards all the way up here, really high. But when it comes to them as a person, what do they have to offer? I always say it's nothing wrong with having expectations from a relationship. It's nothing wrong with it. But what do you bring to the relationship? Like my dad used to always talk to me like that, and I appreciate him. My dad talked to me like a man, okay? He's like, when you're ready for your relationship, you better make sure you're bringing something to the table. And I know that there's always the conversation, this is what a man should do, this is what a man should do. But, you know, ladies too, what do you bring to the relationship? What do you offer as a woman? And the same thing, vice versa, as a man, what do you bring to the relationship? And nobody wants to really talk about those things. They just want to say like, oh, this is what I expect, and they better bring it. They better be bringing this and they better be bringing that. But you as a woman or you as a man don't have it together. So before you're expecting things from people, do you possess those things? And that's the reason why I paused from relationships for a while, so that I could work on me. Because I knew when I said, when I get ready for my next relationship, I'm going to have this. I had to work on some anger issues. I had to work on some healing from past relationships, like from your ex, from, you know, your mommy, your daddy issues, things from your siblings, things that has nothing to do with whoever it is that you're going to meet. We have to stop showing up to relationships with all of our baggage, and expecting for people to heal. Like if you're a lady and you didn't have your father in your life, or your exes did X, Y, and Z to you, you can't come into the relationship jaded, and saying all men do this, and vice versa. It goes the other way. If you're a man, you can't go into the relationship because your mom or your exes did this and say all women. You have to heal yourself from the past. And I had to have enough courage to, hey, to say, family, how are you doing? Good to see you, sissy. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here. That's one thing that I had to learn. I had to learn to give myself a break and say, Marlene, it's time to heal from the past. It's time to stop blaming your ex from how long ago, how many years ago, even if it was recently, and then start working on yourself. Who am I? It's time for me to say, that was the past, now this is the present. What did I allow to make myself be in that relationship? Because the one thing about your ex, you also have to take accountability that I chose this person. I chose this person, and sometimes we don't choose the right people. We cannot put all the blame on other people. Yeah, if they did certain things in the relationship, of course, you got to talk about those things, but also you have to accept accountability. Why did I choose that person? Why did I think I deserve that person? Why did I stay that long? That's the real talk. That's the honest, where you're doing your healing on yourself. It's when you're showing your maturity, and your enlightenment, so that you don't continue to choose somebody just like your ex, or somebody just like your unresolved issues from your mommy, your daddy, your whoever disappointed you and hurt you. So you don't keep choosing somebody you don't want, and then that's not what I want. This is what I want. And for me, that was identifying what I needed and not what I wanted. And it takes some time. It takes commitment. You have to take some time and pause to say, what actually do I want? Sometimes we don't know. Or all I knew for a while is I just wanted to be in a relationship. I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to hang out and all those things. I just wanted my desires satisfied. That's all I was looking for. But when things shift in your relationship, when things shift inside of you and you become more mature, everything is different. Hi, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Good morning. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Let's see what this poll is saying. Is your needs being satisfied in your relationships? I see it's a 50-50 right now. It's a 50-50. So 50% of you saying you feel satisfied in your relationships. Now, I should have asked you, what is being satisfied? That's the next question. When we talk about wants versus needs, there's certain things that it's like, things that are not very important, and then there's things that are important. Like, it's important to talk about what really matters to you and communicate that. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Good morning. Happy Friday. That's something that's very important for you to speak out of your mouth what you actually need from the relationship, like your non-negotiables. This cannot be negotiated. You have to possess this, or I gotta go. Versus what you want, you'd be like, it would be nice if you could do this. That would really please me. That would really make me happy. But a lot of people don't know how to articulate. Actually, I don't know how to say this in any other term, but sometimes we go into a relationship with the expectations that a person should know what I want. Especially after you're with somebody for a while, we kind of expect a person to know. They know I like this and they know I like that. No, have you talked about it? Have you, have you come to some sort of agreement that this, I need this amount of times, learning to be specific. And I've learned that I am so much happier in my relationship because now that I've matured enough to communicate and not just like, oh, you're my man. You should know that. You should know what I want. You should know what I need. And this, the same thing on both sides. Um, that a man expecting that a woman should know what he needs. And it's not always the case. Hi, Angela. How are you doing? Good morning. Happy Friday. And it's not something that people honestly know. Nobody is going to know what you actually need unless you say it. And I don't know why people are afraid to say, especially when it comes to sexuality. I don't know why people are afraid to say, I need this, and this amount of times a week. I have no qualms. I have no problem with saying what I need sexually, but you have to be in that mature headspace. And I will say that sometimes people play games in relationships. Some people don't know that that's an actual thing that you can say, and this is what I need. It's kind of like they just are playing it by ear or flying by the seat of their pants. Like, okay, I'll just, when I'm in the mood, I'll just start kissing on them. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to communicate, talk about, are you in the mood today? Use your words, ladies and gentlemen. Use your words. And I feel like in that way, when you have somebody that knows how to communicate, talk about what they want. See, we are grown people over here. We don't play games. We don't play games. We talk about the things that we want. We talk about the things that we need. And we mean that, it's time to stop playing the games and, acting like you don't want things. Let me talk about this for a little bit. Angela says, exactly. Nobody is a mind reader. And, I have to be honest as a woman. I have to be honest, for a long time before I stepped into my shoes of maturity. I know for sure I used to play a lot of mind games in my previous relationships. Kind of like expecting, you're my man. You should know what I want. You should know I like this. You should know I like that. But when I think about it, after those relationships were over, I was like, I never told them what I wanted, what I needed. So was I the one that sabotaged the relationship? Yeah, yes, and no, because it takes two in a relationship. It can't be one person putting in all the work, putting all the planning, putting all the time, being the caring one. And it can't just be one person sitting back and expecting to receive all the time. It has to be on both sides. Not that you're going to give the same things, because there's two people, there's two personalities. And whatever it is that you do, you bring it to the table. You talk about things, and then they will do what they do. And, and if it works, it works. And that's the thing that I had to learn. I had to stop expecting me from another person in a relationship. And many people don't know how to just let another person be themselves, let a person be free to grow, free to communicate, free to do their own thing. And then, you should be able to come together and say, we're going to do life together. Okay. And I'm here to support you. That's the things that I'm talking about. Is a lot of women and men don't know how to get together on that level and say, I'm here for you. I'm going to support you. It's more like one person is putting all the work into the relationship and the other one is a receiver, and they don't do anything, check in on the person, say, what can I do to make you happy? What would please you? What do you need to feel supported and loved, and all of those things? And a lot of people do not communicate that. And I feel, I can say for me, it's one of the reasons why I've ended previous relationships, is because I've always been the person to give. I've always been the person to communicate, and they haven't. And I understand that Everybody is on different levels of communication. Not everybody is a person who can verbalize and communicate their needs and all those things. I know that. But if you have a good person, if you have somebody who's supportive, you're going to make them feel that. I know that this may be new to you. So for some people, a person being loyal, a person allowing that person to say, how you feel is important to me. Some people have not got that in a relationship ever, in a romantic relationship. They've never felt safe, because I do understand that a lot of men don't feel safe to communicate how they're feeling, because then they get made fun of and they're soft, they're a punk, they're this. So, there's that as well. You have to make, both parties have to have their emotions fed and nourished and respected. One thing that I don't like is, it's like women should be able to be free to have meltdowns and cry and have an attitude and do this and do that. But the moment that a man matches your energy and does the same thing, now he's a bad man, he's a punk, he's this, he's that. And that's crazy to me. I've always said, if a woman can do it, so can a man. It's only one standard in a relationship to me. Respect is going to be on both sides. Commitment is going to be on both sides. Communication is going to be on both sides. And then, you're just there for each other. And that's something that I feel that is lacking in relationships, is allowing each other to be who they are. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to grow into. I had to mature into, that somebody is not going to show up as you. They're not going to be you, because they haven't had your story. They haven't had your life. They haven't been through the same the same things. And, they don't have the same mind. They don't have the same goals as you do. Every single person has different goals. But I do think that people can elevate and grow once they're in a good relationship. When you're in a good, healthy relationship, you're going to feel free to do whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever your goals are. When you have a good person that communicates with you, listens to you, there's nothing that you can't do. But a lot of people do not have that. It's one-sided. It's like, I need you to support me. But when that person is talking about something that's important, like, oh, that's stupid, or that's not important. And I don't like that, because just because I may not like something that my partner is doing, it doesn't mean that it should go down on the level of importance, because that's not something I like. Part of being mature in a relationship is allowing them to be themselves, allowing for them to enjoy themselves. And you may not like it, but respect it. And I think that's something that it takes a mature person. It takes you being in a mature relationship. And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, many people are not in mature relationships. They're in very immature relationships. They're in relationships where you may be trying to change somebody when they've already shown you who they are. They've shown you they're not trying to grow. They're showing you they're not trying to heal. They're not trying to put in the work on their inside. They're not. They're satisfied being immature. They're satisfied, with the same old thing. And if you see that, if you see there's no personal growth in the relationship, I honestly feel you should be mature enough to say, you know what? I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm not going to waste my time. That takes a mature person. And I don't know who's had to do that, but don't string people along. A lot of people string people along. They know 100% this is not a person that I can see a future with. This is not a person, I don't like this and this. You have so many things that you don't like versus what you do like. It's like if your cons overweigh your pros, do not stay in those relationships. If you don't have the I think, how do I say this? I think most people, they go more by the looks, and they go by more the monetary. That's what they focus on. They better have my money. They better have my money. It's about all about money, and it's all about they look, how they look like. Oh, they have to be look like a supermodel, and they better have the money, and they better have this car, and they better have this home. When at the end of the day, what is all of those things going to do for you if you have somebody that has anger issues, or somebody that's immature, or they're not with you to enjoy those things? I've always said, who cares about things if you don't have somebody that can share those things with? Like, I don't care about getting a beautiful home if you're always in the home by yourself and they're always out doing whatever. I'd rather have less money. I'd rather have less whatever, not have this big home, but maybe a small home. Or maybe you don't have the most expensive car, but you have a nice car, and you don't have to worry about going to this job, whatever, how many times that is paid off, and you can spend time together and making memories. I do think a lot of people have relationships screwed up in their head. They are going more by what they want. I want a mansion. I want a 4-star restaurants. I want this. I want that. And don't even get me started. Is that they got to be all the specifics. They have to be 6 foot this. They have to drive this type of car. They have to have this education. They have to, the list. And I think that the lists are stopping people from being happy. I think the lists are stopping people from finding their true person. And they always say that there's no good people out there. Yes, there is. There's good people out there. It's that a lot of people don't want to get off of these lists. They don't want to admit that, their standards are, they're strange, they're weird. You can't have more things that you expect than what you possess. And that was a humbling thing for me. I also had to learn to work on that as well. That who cares if a person is not 6'5" and has whatever, however much money you want in the bank. That's not the important thing. The most important thing is, are they focused? Are they, whatever, are they handling their business as a man? And vice versa. Are they handling their business as a woman? Is this somebody that you could see having children with? Is this, there's certain things that people have things off track. They're focused on the wrong things, and the things that are really the important things, they haven't talked about it. They just ignore those things. Yes, nobody is a mind reader. Angela says facts. Tamika says true. And Angela says, yes, a mentally mature, I guess you're saying reciprocated, caring mate is priceless. Yes, it has to go on both sides, And I feel sad for the younger generation. I hate to say that the younger generation is a lost generation, but I will say, it doesn't matter what the age is, from a person is 18 to a person is 100 years old. There's always hope for a good relationship. But first, we have to start with ourselves. I had to work on my healing. I had to work on my maturity. I had to work on my communication, so that when I got my relationship, I could be happy and not making them miserable because I got some issues and I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm crying because I didn't take the time to heal. And it goes on both sides. Don't go into relationships angry about the past, or angry about your life, or blaming other people, whatever happened to you, face it. What did you do? And what happened to you? Okay, this happened to me. That was messed up. Now it's time to shift my life and say, now I'm in control of what I do today. I'm in control of what I have. And if I don't like what I have, I'm going to have enough respect for myself, enough love for myself to stand up, put on my big girl panties or put on your big boy drawers and be a man and be a woman and make it happen. You know, if it takes turning your hobby into your life, so you do it. You work your job and you do your hustle on the side. And that's the things that I respect about a real woman and a real man is if you've been through some things in your life, you allow yourself to get up and to fight for the things that you want. You know, ladies and gentlemen, don't sit down and blame your auntie and your auntie, daddy, whoever raised you, your grandma, for whatever they did to you. And now you're 25, 35, 45, 55 years old, and you're still talking about your mama and your daddy, or you're still talking about your ex or whatever happened to you 10, 15 years ago. It's time we start saying, I'm going to get up and I'm going to make my life change. I'm going to make my life phenomenal. I'm going to do what I need to do so that I can be happy. And a lot of people don't do that. They focus on, they go into relationships and they expect for their man or their woman to fulfill the voids that their ex, that my ex didn't have that, so you have to have this, or my mom didn't do this, so you have to do this. You know, it's messed up. It's off balance and you'll never be happy, and all you'll ever do is make yourself and whoever you are trying to be with miserable. You have to know who you are, what you're here for, your purpose, and then have enough courage to be that, and then allow whoever you're with to be themselves. And then if it works and you guys vibe right, then you'll find a way to balance the relationship. And one thing that I learned is that a good relationship is made up of two good forgivers. You know, nobody's perfect. No woman is perfect. No man is perfect. Nobody's going to always give you 100% what you want. Not 100% of the time. But if the majority of the time, yeah, they're respectful and they're kind and all of those things, then for me, I feel like if you can get the majority of what you need, then that's a person that you stay with, you commit to. But if you have somebody that doesn't care about your needs, doesn't show up for you, doesn't listen to you, doesn't communicate with you, and you're experiencing no growth as a human being, that's not somebody that you're going to stay committed to. Eventually that relationship is going to fizzle out. It's going to end, because if you don't feel happy, if you don't feel loved, understood, you don't feel like somebody shows up for me, it's not going to work. Even when you try, because I did that for a long time. You know, I always thought, I'm going to be a better woman. I'm going to be kinder. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to do all of these things for him. And I had to, you know, after that was over, I had to do some inner work on myself, knowing that I cannot change somebody. I cannot fix somebody. I cannot make somebody like whoever was in my life. I have to allow them to be themselves, and then that's it. Allow them to be themselves, and if it works, then it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't work. Don't try to force somebody to be something that's not. You know, don't let somebody. I think a lot of women do it. I'm not saying men don't do it, but a lot of women do that. I'm gonna get into this relationship. I'm gonna make my dream man. Oh, all he has to do is be introduced to me, and then he's gonna be this and this and this. And maybe sometimes men do it. I don't know. I'm not a man, so I can't speak on that. But I know as a woman, I've gone into the relationship thinking if I'm kinder, if I'm more compassionate, if I'm more understanding, if I do this for him and I do that for him, he's going to change and mirror me and do the same thing back for me. when all it takes, honestly, when you're in a good relationship, all you have to do is ask, communicate. Can you do this for me, honey? And if you have a good person, they'll have no problem doing whatever it is for you. When you have a good person, they have no problem doing things that will make you happy, doing things that will satisfy you. And that's the difference in being in a good relationship and not being in one. When you're in a good relationship, the person wants you to be happy. The person wants you to look good. They're going to make sure you take care of yourself. They're going to make sure, you're mentally stable. They're going to make sure that they do things that, brings you joy. They want you to be happy. I've actually been in a relationship with somebody that didn't like to see me. Why are you smiling all the time? Why are you this? Oh, you think you're better. And that's a person that has anger and unresolved issues. And I had to learn that if how you meet somebody is how they're going to be. They're not going to change until somebody makes a choice to say, I don't like this and I'm going to change it for me. Then it will change. But if a person just meets you, it doesn't mean they're going to change because you're in their life. And I wanted that so bad for a long time. I think I wasted probably 3 or 4 years of my life being in a relationship with somebody. I knew the relationship wasn't going anywhere. I knew that they weren't what I wanted. But sometimes it's like you'll say like having a man is better than not having a man, and that's not true at all. Sometimes it's better to not have a man than to have a bad man, and vice versa. It's better to not have a woman than to have a bad woman. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to be in a relationship with somebody and you're miserable all the time. You're angry. You're always arguing. You don't get along. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, like my mom and my dad always said, my parents met and were married within 5 months. I always will say, if you find the right person, it does not take you a long time to figure out it's the right person for you. It's their spirit. It's their energy. It's how they treat you. It's everything. Everything just aligns. If you're with the right person, you don't have to say, oh, let me see if it's the right person. You don't need a lot of time. If this is somebody that in a very short period of time, if you have to put in all of this time. Hey, Kristen, how are you doing? Good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, Angela, facts. If you have to put in so much time, like I've heard crazy things, like people have been in a romantic relationship with people like 7 to 10 years and they're still boyfriend and girlfriend. To each his or own. I'm not judging anybody, but I think that's weird. I feel like within a year you should know if this is somebody you want to marry, if that's something that you actually want. I know not everybody wants to be married, but if this is somebody you want to be committed to, this is somebody you see as a long-term relationship. I don't know. And some people after like 10 to 10 years, they still don't know if they want to commit to this person. That's weird to me. Angela says, facts. I've seen that in the successful relationships of others. It's beautiful to see. Yeah. My parents, I always will use my parents as an example. I thought I was going to sneeze. Yeah. But I think when you have a good person, you know right away. And you don't have to force it. You automatically are going to get kindness and compassion. Those are the things, the important things, the needs. Your needs will automatically be satisfied when you have a good relationship. I should also put that with that, a mature relationship, because there's a lot of people out there that are little boys or little girls trapped in an adult body. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's the truth. You're expecting somebody who is mentally and emotionally 6 years old or whatever age they were when they were scarred or traumatized, and they've never moved past that because they've, I don't know, for one reason or the other, maybe the fear, they don't want to talk about it, they have anger issues, and all of it is because they've been holding on to all of these unresolved issues, and that's why they can't be happy in their present. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. It was the hardest 7 years of my life going through therapy, but going through therapy has changed my life completely. Instead of before being a person jealous all the time, angry, screaming, complaining, jealous of everybody, jealous of other women, jealous of other men, not learning how to be committed to myself, learning how to be my own friend. It's a lot of things that you have to go into before you can be good for another person. And I wanted to always make sure that when I was with somebody, they weren't, I'm not the type of person that has to be the person say, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time. I know some people are, but I wanted to be the type of person that once in a while, like, maybe once a day or every other day be told I was loved, because I had unresolved issues from my past. So it was all the time I had to hear, I love you. You have to do this for me. You have to do that for me, because I needed to work on healing myself. And another person can't fill in your missing pieces. Another person can't make you happy. A person can assist in your happiness, but nobody can make you happy. You have to be happy on your own. You have to have enough courage to work on those skeletons in the closet, the things that made you unhappy, and also being accountable and taking ownership of, what do I do? What are my flaws? Okay. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't want to talk about the things that we do that is not right. How we need to work on this and that. And I made sure I took 7 years out of my life to heal, to enjoy my singleness, and so that I could be how would I say it? So that I could be a high quality woman. And and because I put in the work into me, I expected a high quality man. Whereas before, I would just settle for just a man. Different these days. It's different. It's different when you work on yourself, when you love yourself, when you know your worth, when you've done the inner work, when you worked on your inside, and you've hustled, and you've done what you need to do so that you can bring something to the table. As a woman, I can bring something to the table. And I expect the same thing, that a man has worked on their issues, because I don't have somebody who's, they're always snapping off. They got some anger issues. They're talking about their ex, their mama, their daddy. You got to work on yourself so that you can bring something good to the table. Yes, Angela, you do. You have to be healthy enough to be a good partner. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. They just feel like, no, I just want to be in a relationship. I want a good man. But if I'm being completely transparent, I couldn't have a good man until I could be a good woman. That's some real talk right there. You may not be able to see and receive what you actually do need, because you're not ready to receive it. Because will you be able to handle a good person, a good partner, with kindness and love and respect and appreciation? You can't appreciate something until you know how to take care of that gift. And you can't take care of a gift until you know how to take care of yourself. and know what you want and know how to be focused and know how to have joy and friendship. You got to know how to treat yourself first, ladies and gentlemen. And many people don't know how to treat themselves first, treat themselves good, respect themselves, and have those boundaries within themselves outside of their partner. A lot of people have things really twisted, that their whole life is wrapped up in the person they're in a relationship with. And don't get me wrong, yes, your person that you're with is a very important part of your relationship, but it shouldn't be your whole life. You shouldn't find your whole existence in a person. You still should have your own life. You still should have your own goals and promises and things that you do outside of them. That's a healthy relationship. Somebody pushing you, okay, what's your next goal? How can I support you in that? And vice versa. What's your next goal? How can I support you in that? And you each being there to support each other's elevation. And I love to see that in good, healthy relationships. You'll see one person growing, then you see the next person leveling up. When you have a good person, they're going to want you to level up. They're going to want you to improve and be happier. They're going to want you to have a healthier body, healthier mental health, growing in whatever you believe in spiritually, and all of those things. You're going to want that person to have peace and joy in their life, and sharing things together. That's an important thing. And what I see a lot of times in relationships is one person is out there doing their thing and the other person is out there doing theirs, and they're not coming together and being supportive of each other's dreams. They're always talking about, oh, this is what I'm doing, and then they won't show up for them. And I hate to see that. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. Your partner likes it. So I think that's something important. So, that's something that I wanted to say, everybody. And I wanted to let you all know that it's very important to talk about all of those things and your best. I think it went out. Do your best and be your best. Be happy. Be happy. That's what's important. Be happy in who you are. Be happy in who you're choosing to spend your life with. And, be mature enough. Be mature enough, everybody, to say, I deserve this, and this, and communicate. And if you find that somebody is not willing to communicate, then move on. There's certain things that you have to know, I will not settle on. If that's something that's a need, I don't mean a want. If it's something that you need, make sure you get what you need. I'm not talking about wants. I'm not talking about this list. I'm not talking about you can't be in a relationship with somebody who's a blue collar worker. All these ridiculous ideas and notions that people have on social media. It's just ridiculous. The things that people put down and talk about. It's, I don't know. People are, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are not happy and they cannot have a healthy relationship, is because they are expecting and nobody can fulfill that. It's ridiculous. So I just wanted to tap in and have this conversation with all of you and say I wish everybody well in your romantic pursuits, whether you are searching for a relationship, thinking about a relationship, or in a relationship. Make sure you're talking about what you want versus you need. Communicate. Communicate, chat family, and talk about those things. Have those conversations, and don't be afraid. And You know, I have to say, as a woman, sometimes we don't talk about what we actually need from a relationship versus what we want. Don't expect a person to know, you know, and it goes on both sides, you know, gentlemen to talk about what you want versus what you need. And if you're in a person in a good relationship with a person who has a level head, they'll want to make you happy. They'll want to spend time with you. They'll want to make sure you're okay, and you'll want to stay in a relationship with them. Somebody who cares about you will want to do what it takes to make sure you're at a place of peace, and they won't try to do things to make you upset. They won't do immature things or be manipulative and using and toxic. We're not even talking about the toxic relationships. I'm talking about the happy, committed, honest, the relationships where you experience personal growth. I'm talking about those relationships. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're talking about it with the person you're with. I hear all the time people talking about, oh, my man doesn't do this or my woman doesn't do this. But at the same time, they've never talked about those things. Have you talked about what the issues are with your partner? And another thing, stop telling other people that are outside of your relationship your business. I think it's weird. I think it's very toxic. Other people shouldn't know what's going on in your relationship. There's certain things that happen in a romantic relationship that need to be kept private. I don't know. Some people are weird, and some people have some work to do on their inside. You shouldn't be talking about what your man does, what your woman does. If there's something that you know you need to do some healing and some work on that relationship, then put in the work, and you know, put in the work into it. It's worth it. I know that it's not easy. A marriage, a long-term committed relationship does take work. It's not that you it's finding the person is usually not the hard part. The hard part is maintaining. The hard part is keeping the relationship as you grow, as situations and difficulty, as life happens, as adulting happens, and children and all kinds of things. Whatever the challenges is, you meet the challenges together and you learn to work things out. You know, you don't abandon one another. You have conversations, you talk about it. Yeah. Yes, Angela, a good partner will want to see you happy. And if you have a good person, they will want to see you happy. They'll say, why are you upset? You know, and if they said or did something, they'll apologize. They'll say, I'm sorry, and they'll do something to change it. But if you're in a toxic relationship and you tell them how you feel, oh, well, that's your problem, I don't care. Mm-mm. That's not a good relationship for you. A good relationship should be healing to your soul. And I wish all of you that sort of love. I wish you all that sort of peace, to find those things. But, you know, you got to put in the work into yourself first, and be happy within you. Heal your wounds from the past. And I'm not saying it's an easy road. It's a hard road. It's hard to come to a space and face, you know, this person did this and I did that, and being accountable, and then saying, you know what, I did do this, but I'm not going to do that anymore. Or I saw this in that person and I thought I could change that. We're not going to do that anymore. You know, it's assuming the responsibility. It's speaking up for yourself. It's making a commitment to yourself and being your own friend first, and to put in the work into a relationship to make sure that not only you are happy and satisfied. It goes on both sides. I've heard many people talk about it's all about the woman being happy in the relationship. You know, I've heard that saying, happy wife, happy life. I don't know if I agree with that. I know that some ladies will come for me in the comment section, but I don't agree with happy wife, happy life. I think it's both. Shouldn't your husband be happy too? That's weird to me. But to each his or her own. I think that both people need to be happy in the relationship. It should be happy husband, happy life too. But that's just me. I'm a little bit different. Everybody's not going to be like me. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to all my mods. Thank you so much for your support. Happy Friday to everybody. And to everybody who is out there searching for love. I hope you find love, and a healthy love too. Not just love, quote unquote, that people are always talking about. They want love. Love is not just something that you go out there and you find it. It's something that two people are being committed to, or respecting, working on themselves, respecting boundaries, and growing together, learning what each other needs and be willing to do that for them. And if you have somebody who is balanced and mature, they will be willing. They will be willing to love you. So, one thing that I don't believe in is settling. Don't settle for a piece of a man or a piece of a woman. Get yourself a whole woman or a whole man that will listen to you, respect your boundaries, and bring peace in your life, bring joy in your life, bring your ultimate elevation, because they're going to be supportive of you becoming a better woman or becoming a better man. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Marlene Saunders Show. If you have come this far and you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. I would love for you to subscribe, all of those things, do all of the YouTube things, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're watching in the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Do you talk about your wants versus needs? Are you in a relationship? Are you not in a relationship? Are you not interested in a relationship? Let me know that in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Miss Tamika. Thank you, Kristen, Angela, Realist One, Uncle L, and anybody who's watching in the background. I appreciate all of you, chat family, and I will definitely see you all back on Monday. I'm going to do another poll to talk about what we're going to talk about on Monday. You guys always vote on the polls so that I can find out what you guys want to talk about, and then we'll do that. So I'll put the poll out later today, and then you guys will have all weekend to let me know what you guys want to talk about on Monday. So I'll see you guys back on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. You've tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If you have not subscribed and liked, please do so. And you're always welcome to hit my Cash App, Best Life 727, for those of you who would like to tip the host. I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.